Welcome back. It's harvest time. So I basically didn't do any filming this summer. I did a little bit here and there, but not enough to actually put a video together, and I just didn't have anything that I could do just because I didn't have time. It was a very stressful, busy summer, but it was good. It was a very good summer. Got a lot of hay put up, a lot of really good hay, and it's time to do corn. So got the combine out, as you can see, took the head off because we needed to fix a few things, and I'll go through and I will show you. Ooh, there's the sun. That's not good for you. Show you some of the things we've done. For one, last year we ran her without brakes, which it's probably better if we don't talk about that, but we did. So we put two new master cylinders, one for each side, and also had some belts to do. So I'll go through and show you some of the other things that we've already changed and some of the things that we have yet to change. So one of the things that needs to be fixed is if you look down inside the feeder house here, try to rotate this right there, you can see down on the bottom there's what's called a RAS bar. See if I can get my finger down in there, right about there, and there's a section missing right there. Actually, that's not just one section, it's a couple of them. So a RAS bar in this looks like this, and it obviously there's one, two, I think there's three of them across down along the bottom that the cylinder rotates against, and that's what does the threshing, or does the shelling, I guess, of the corn. So it actually, what that does is as this piece here rotates, it's kind of hard to do now that the belts are all back on it, but as this piece here rotates, it has a clearance of about that much between these bars here to these stationary bars here that are down inside. So what that does then is as it's spinning, it goes, the ears of corn go into here, they get fed in by this drum with these fingers, and it'll feed that through, and this piece right here basically just beats the kernels right off the cob. And so one of the things that we have to adjust for is the clearance, because if it breaks up the cobs too much and we end up with cobs up in the tank, that's not good. The elevator doesn't like that. But if we have it going to where it's got too much of a gap, then it won't do a good job of shelling everything off. Then you'll end up with kernels still on the cob coming out the back end of the combine. So you have to adjust it. You have to adjust the speed of your fan, which blows the trash off. We've actually taken the sieves out right now so that we could just clean everything and make sure everything was good. So these right here lay in here. There's two of them, as you can see, one, two, and they lay in there like a shelf, and they shake, and as things work their way back, the kernel should fall down through, go through an auger that then carries it up to a conveyor chain, carries it up into the grain tank, and then the trash, the cobs, husks, any stalks that come in, any of that falls out the back of the combine. So if you look, you can see some of the trash that's still down in there. I got to clean out, obviously, because I haven't done everything yet. I've been working on it though. So right now, working on trying to get this thing cleaned out, ready for, get it ready for harvest. The corn's almost dry enough. We've actually had some snow, which has pretty much melted. There's still a little bit up in the combine. I should have put it inside, but I didn't have it indoors. I was missing belts, so I didn't get a chance to put it indoors before. So over here is the head. So once everything is done and the combine is ready to go, what we'll do is I'll have to move that bulldozer out of the way, and then we will get her pulled up and put the head back on it, be ready to hopefully feed this monster some corn. So as you can see, I flipped down the rock door, which had the broken RAS bars on it, and right here, I I got 2 new RAS bars. That one's still good, so we're gonna leave her there. But yeah, ready to put the trap door back up. That's the rock door. And once that's put up, this latch right here gets pushed down. It's spring loaded, so you got to use a long, really big crescent wrench to do it. But other than that, a few little things left to patch up, and then we'll be ready to hit it. So that right there is all of the yucky stuff that was inside the combine that I was able to get out. So that's disgusting, but it's also out of the combine now, so yippee for me. One thing that I am not a huge fan of is the fact that this is gasoline. I mean, granted, road fuel is more expensive than gas, but there's also the whole like efficiency, you know, either way. Yeah, this thing likes gas, and it goes through a lot of it. I have no idea whose cattle these are that we're just running through the woods, but I'm gonna nice and slowly try to drive them towards a barn. Just trying to take the tractor and gravity wagon down to the field, and there's 6 head just hanging out in the woods. How about that? Well, I have the corn head put on. I fixed the holes grain tank. You can see I put a piece of black plastic there and a piece of black plastic over there, which were my 2 bad spots. But I'm filling up this thing with fuel, and I know you're asking yourself, like, Dixon, clearly this thing must have a DEF tank, and I have looked everywhere. I checked the owner's manual. This thing does not have a DEF tank on it, so I don't have to worry about diesel exhaust fluid for emissions. It's just that good. So yeah, exciting news. Thought I'd let you guys know. I don't have to use DEF in this thing. I'm a little embarrassed to admit how far I went before I realized that I had a row that wasn't working, because, well, a chain repair link decided to be the part that needed to be repaired. So I have to go back to the shop and go get a repair link. Thankfully, I've got a vehicle. It might be the grain truck, which is slow, but it's better than, you know, having to drive a tractor all the way back. So yeah, I went a little ways. It's really ratty corn down in this end. Actually, most of my field, I'll be honest, most of my field's pretty ratty this year. Had an issue with when it got sprayed, and so as you can tell, it's fairly short. I actually just finally got down to the bottom here where it was a little bit better, and it was starting to feed corn, because some of this, the birds have stripped everything off what was even here, so it wasn't even putting anything in the grain tank. But like I said, now I've got a row that's not working when I finally hit corn, so I got to go back to the shop and get that. Well, I just got out to look and see what kind of job we're doing here once we actually got into some halfway decent looking corn. The tank sample is really clean. I don't see any corn on the ground here. The only thing is there's somewhere, I figured out what that is, but not from the grain tank, because that was pouring out last year, and it's not this year. So yeah, overall, once we actually hit some real corn, we got stuff going in the grain tank, and I'm going to grab my moisture tester here in a minute and grab a sample. So last night, it was dark, dew had set in, must have picked up a rock, and so the rock door kicked open again. And it also busted a bolt on, not this one, but the one over there, but I won't move the camera. But it busted a bolt off of one of the RAS bars, the new ones actually that I'd put on. So I just went ahead and parked the combine for the night, because I wanted to work on it in the daylight. Also, I'm down here on the gravel instead of crawling around in corn stubble working on this. It was much better to do it on a gravel, a dry gravel floor than out there in the wet, nasty, like weedy corn stubble. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get the rock door closed, and then I'll check fluids and fire the old girl up and go see what the corn looks like this morning. And just like that, she's ready to go back to the field.